Greetings, Belief Brave Souls community. This is Kazatool, and today we're going to dissect the Awakened Grand Fisher Ultimate Difficulty Epic Raid. Since many of the patterns in this raid are identical to the non-awakened versions, this video will focus primarily on the updated attack patterns. For those that may be a bit rusty on the original Grand Fisher raid, I will briefly walk over the unchanged patterns. However, if you want or need a more detailed breakdown of these patterns, please check out my other Grand Fisher Ultimate Difficulty tutorials in my video archive. If you haven't yet checked out the Awakened Grand Fisher Epic Raid, oh, do we have a surprise for you. Here to tell us all about the myriad of new content and features packed into Attack Phase 1, I bring you Master Cooney, everyone's favorite martial artist. I mean, if you don't include Chuck Norris or Bruce Lee, Jean-Claude Van Damme. Okay, let's just say everyone loves him a heck of a lot more than Steven Seagal. So, Master Cooney, I heard K-Lab really put on their creativity caps and crammed an amazing amount of new patterns and raid mechanics into the Grand Fisher Ultimate Difficulty Epic Raid. So, lay it on us. Tell us all about the wicked new features that await us in Phase 1.
Nothing! Absolutely nothing! Stupid! You're so stupid!
Okay, and there you have it. Nothing has changed in Attack Phase 1. They're all the same patterns, albeit some of them run a little faster, so let's quickly walk through them. Attack Phase 1, attack pattern number 1, red crap on the ground. It's the same as the non-awakened version, only it runs a little faster. If you want to see the gameplay footage, watch my original Grand Fisher Epic Raid walkthrough video. Attack Phase 1, attack pattern number 2, my pretty red flower with the purple center. And as a reminder, the red circles appear around the edge, and when they connect, the purple one appears and detonates, and then the red detonate in the same order they appeared in. If you want to see the gameplay footage, once again, watch the non-awakened version of the Epic Raid walkthrough in my archive. Phase 1 attack pattern number 3, and this one is out and in, or if you've got the variant in and out. One thing of note, I have not actually seen the variant of this where you get blown inward first. It's always blown outward. Maybe the variant exists, maybe it doesn't. Either way, you can see the variant in the original Grand Fisher Epic Raid walkthrough non-awakened version. Okay, so just position yourself so you don't get blown into the purple crap, and then you'll get blown inward. Immediately dash out 3 times so you don't get clipped with that death blow. Good luck if you're using Bankai Kenny. One flash step, gotta love him. All right, let's see what's new with Attack Phase number 2. Not a whole lot. Attack patterns 1 and 2 are identical to the non-awakened version of the raid. Attack pattern 3, well, I guess the pattern technically is identical. It's just there's not as much color. It's not as pretty. Why don't we take a look? Attack Phase 2 attack pattern number 1. More red crap on the ground. I hope you know what to do by now. Attack Phase 2 attack pattern number 2. Same thing as the non-awakened version of the raid. Let's take a look. Okay, as soon as you see the radial sting text, prepare to jump to the edge. When the purple appears, jump to the edge. When it detonates, jump to avoid all the purple and red, and then you're in the clear. Attack Phase 2 attack pattern number 3, and at long last we've come across the first attack pattern that is different from the non-awakened version of the raid. And actually, the pattern itself isn't different, it's just the colors. So instead of a mix of purple and red circles, everything is purple, so if you make a mistake at all, you're dead. So there are multiple variations of this particular attack pattern, and in this video we're only going to look at one of them because, as I said earlier, the pattern itself doesn't change, it's just the color. So we'll show that, and we'll show some gameplay footage. If you're not familiar with all the variations or exactly how this pattern works, I highly recommend you look at my video archive. I have like a 6-minute video breaking this particular attack phase and attack pattern down. So it's not the full walkthrough of the non-awakened version. There's a pattern clarification video out there. That's the one that you want. So as a reminder, the circles will appear 3 at a time. So remember where the first set jumps out because that's where you have to eventually jump into. That's going to be your safe area. When the third set start appearing, jump into that third area. As soon as the first set detonates, jump into where the first set of circles was. And a quick word of caution, if you're confronted with any other variant than the one that's shown here, the center circle, the timing before it detonates is a little faster, it seems like. So try to stay out of that center circle unless you're in the particular variant that I just showed here. However, regardless of which variant you are confronted with, it's all a numbers game. I mean, there's three sets of circles that appear, and you're making note of where the number one set is, jumping into where the third set is appearing, and then as soon as the one set detonates, you're jumping into the safe area from there. It's just in other variants, you may be stepping sideways instead of jumping into or out of the center. Live on location, going to show you that variant we showed in the slides here. The circle appears in the center first, find the last circle to appear, then jump into the center after detonation. And let's take a look at another variant where the circles first appear on the side and the second one's in the center. So you go to where the third ones appear, detonation, dash where the first one detonated, and you're good to go. Simple, right? What's new in attack phase number 3? In attack phase number 1, nothing, as we heard Master Cooney said, and we were stupid for thinking there might be something different. Attack phase 2, 2 of the 3 patterns were identical, and the last one had a small cosmetic change. The pattern itself was the same, just a little different color. So attack phase 3, surprisingly, all 3 attack patterns are different. They're not a whole heck of a lot different, but, K-Lab seemed to really phone this one in here. Let's dive right in. Attack phase 3, attack pattern number 1, and the only difference here between this one and the non-awakened version is the size of that purple circle that appears. Instead of the standard spike circle, we have the new and improved wide spike circle, which takes up considerably more room in the center, so you have to dive deeper towards the edge to get away from it. I must admit, this particular pattern has clipped me time and time again because it's a little wider than I think it is, so maybe with practice I'll get over it, but for now it still trips me up once in a while. And the same strategy holds for the awakened version of the raid as the non-awakened version of the raid. You can actually stand in any of the red circles because there's enough of a delay between the purple detonation and the red detonation where you can jump in. It's a little tighter because you usually got to dash into the center twice instead of once. And we're back on location. Hi, Ichiru. Okay, cut that out in post-production. Let's start over. And we're back on location looking for that text. See it, get to the outside, detonate, dash to the inside. Let's see it again, looking for that white spike circle text. Where is it? There it is. Get to the outside, way out, detonate, way in. You're good to go. This is also a good time to soul bomb at this point. Attack phase 3, attack pattern number 2, and this one is pretty much the same as the non-awakened version of the raid. The only difference is in that final detonation of this attack pattern, they throw in a wide spike circle, which means that center area is not safe. And since that center area isn't safe anyways, you may as well drop your poison in it, because if you drop it on the edge, you're kind of going to hurt yourself. Okay, and the first thing you'll see here is a / and that takes up half the arena, and that ultimately is the half of the arena that will not be safe. So that means when you get tagged with poison, you can either drop them on the unsafe side of the arena, or you just drop them in the center if you're confused or don't know what you're doing or are just lazy, and then immediately get to the edges of the safe area, and then everything detonates. The poison will resume, less like it does in the non-awakened version of the raid, and when it dissipates, dash in for the attack. And we go to our action cam where we see our gameplay footage there, get out of that / and I'm choosing to drop it in the non-safe half of the arena. Then I just get to the outside of the safe part of the arena and everything detonates. Poison dissipates, in for the attack. Let's see it again. Okay, and let's take a look at another variant where instead of on the left or right side of the arena, the / on the top side, the poison carriers are staying in the center, which is good. I get to the edge with my man Kuya. Detonation, wait for that poison to dissipate, in for the attack. All right. Attack phase 3, attack pattern number 3, where Grand Fisher blows up all the things. So this one is identical to the non-awakened version of the raid, one exception. Where there was a spike circle, there is now a new and improved and wider wide spike circle. So on one of the detonations, you just have to jump an extra step to get away from it. Why don't we take a look? Okay, much like the unawakened version of the raid, the first thing you'll see is purple around the edges, blowback arrows going outward. You'll get blown into that purple, dash back in before it detonates. Shortly after that purple detonates, you will get the blowback arrows pointing inwards, which will blow you into Grand Fisher, and then you need to dash out 3 times to get away from that wide spike circle we were talking about earlier. Now, when that white spike circle detonates, you'll see a quadrant that's already starting to purple up. The side opposite that is a safe area, so you want to look for that indicator because, as you see here, we get an ultra mega Dishuman. All the world blows up except for that one little safe area. Okay, and now we're on location with Zombie Toshi. Gonna get blown into the purple, dash in, no problem. Now we're gonna get blown in, dash out twice in a couple steps or 3 times, either one. Look for that indicator, go to the safe area, resume attack. Let's see it again. So once again, Zombie Toshi's in for the attack. We're going to get blown into the purple, dash back into safety. Now we're going to get blown into Grand Fisher, dash out to safety. Look for that indicator, go to the safe area, resume attack, and you've done it. Hey, you made it to the end. Thanks for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. Remember, there are additional Grand Fisher walkthrough videos detailing the patterns we breezed over, so if you need to brush up on specifics, be certain to check them out. As always, feel free to leave a comment with any additional tips you may have on this raid event to help out your fellow players. Additionally, if you have any feedback for me or suggestions for future videos, please leave a comment. Thanks again for stopping by, and I will see you all in-game.